Hi, I'm Adam Duffus, the Managing Director of VA for You, and this is Task Me Anything, a podcast dedicated to helping you with VAs in your business. We started this business a few years ago with the goal of reducing wage stress within your business, increasing employee happiness, and driving productivity through the roof. Without further ado, I hope you enjoy this week's episode. Welcome back to another Task Me Anything, a podcast brought to you by VA for You. Today we're joined by another powerhouse in Brisbane real estate, Sam Devlin, Managing Director and Principal of Harcourts Property Centre. With over 18 years of experience, Sam has led Harcourts' #1 franchise group to massive success. He is a top auctioneer, a Wynnum Bugs great scrum half, and if we're honest, a very, very average golfer. Sam, it's great to have you.
It's great. It's a fantastic introduction. Although I would also like to point out that my team has never lost to your team in golf.
Yeah, interesting you say that. So the next question here is how do we know each other, Sam, and how do we relate to one another?
We are no relation, I'll make that clear. From family-wise, with absolutely none.
Sure.
But I met you when I was an auctioneer, cutting my teeth up in Toowoomba in the local auction market. And then we've somehow managed to be entangled since probably 2012, 2013, I'd say.
That's true. Sam's the only auctioneer I've had who rang me 10 minutes before an auction and said, how are we going to go today? Have you got any live bidders? And I said, no. And he goes, well, I'm still in Brisbane, so if you could just get up there and tell them that it's we're going to just pass it in and I'm going to still send you the bill. No response.
Next question.
Okay, perfect. Some icebreaker questions, Sam. We like to learn who you are. If you could use one emoji for the rest of your life, what would that emoji be?
One emoji for the rest of my life, and it's the only emoji I can use. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. That's pretty much you. Yeah. If you're stuck on a desert island, who was the one person from Harcourt you'd want to be stuck with you?
Oh, Brooksy.
I knew that was going to be your answer. Why Brooksy?
Oh, he'd be pretty remorseful.
He's going to keep you alive probably.
Yes.
You're going to eat.
We'll eat.
Have shelter.
He knows how to fish.
Have a fire.
Yeah. And I would think he'd be the most resourceful.
What's the worst piece of real estate advice you've ever had?
The worst piece of real estate advice I've ever had? That's an interesting question. I think, and I won't mention any names, but there was a certain real estate identity here in Brisbane who openly discredits cold calling and auctions. So I won't mention their names, but I would openly.
I could mention it.
Yeah, well, you can if you want. It's your podcast.
Yes, this is true. I'm not brave enough either. Who's the greatest real estate agent you've ever seen?
Oh, the greatest real estate agent. You're leading me here.
I'm leading you to one direction.
Yes.
He's in front of you.
No, certainly not yourself. You were very skillful at the listing table. No doubt about it, and you could sell real estate. But an added component of real estate, I think, is the generation of business.
No one ever taught me that part.
No, well, we've all tried. And now you're pretty good at generating business in your current role. Sure. But I think from a well-rounded real estate professional, I would have to say, I'm actually going to say Emmy Thies. I think Emmy Thies up in Toowoomba is probably one of the best real estate practitioners I've ever had the pleasure of working with.
I'd probably agree with you there. She's a very process-driven relationship builder, business builder, people builder. Yeah,
she can. She built a business, exited a business. She's come back. She's done it all. And when she was firing in that 2012, 2016 era, like she was unstoppable. You would know you're up against it.
Yeah. This or that, a hammer or a gavel or a golf day?
Golf day.
Auction day or settlement day?
Auction day.
Wynnum or New Farm?
Wynnum.
Data or gut instinct?
Gut instinct.
VA or in-house admin?
Oh. I know where you want. Am I meant to say VA?
You're meant to, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
it's
VA.
my podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, VA. Certainly.
Perfect. All right, Sam, let's get into the questions everyone's dying to know. Well, I am about VAs. Let's talk about data first. I've never met anyone as dedicated to clean data as yourself. You have 5 data VAs. VAs are just clean data for new agents joining a business, for your existing agents. Why do you see this so crucial in your business, cleaning data?
Well, I think putting the human element on it is that a database is a people base. So it's having people to talk to and sell them something. In our instance, as real estate practitioners, we're selling them real estate, or we're trying to sell our wares to sell their real estate. So we're trying to list or sell property. But having more people to speak to offer your professional services to is why we've put such a huge focus on it. And I was sitting across from someone from a competing brand, probably going back to 2019, 2020. And, they said we're really working in a data-driven, people-driven industry. And the one thing we do is we sell real estate from that. And so I've seen it since that day as being fundamental that we get our the number of our people in our database to increase, but also the cleanliness of the data, which is to know who they are, where they live, how they like to be contacted, and then their contact details.
Yeah, I mean, Luke Burton in your office, he's a data monster. He's on a mission to get 100% of the clean data of Tawantin.
He told me yesterday, I think I was on the phone to him, and he's got 82 or 83%.
He's getting close.
Yeah.
Cleanest database I've ever seen. We obviously help him clean that, but
it certainly is the cleanest. And I'd say, speaking to him, he doesn't know if he can get it any cleaner.
Yeah.
There's the ability where you get to a point, and to have 82% of 6,000 odd properties, I think is a huge credit to the work he's done over the last couple of years.
So I wanted you today to talk about some of the parts of your business where VAs have helped you outside of sales and PM. So Dineth in your team is in your accounts department.
Yep, we love Dineth. Shout out to Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka Dineth.
Better in the second test.
Tell me, what does Dineth do for you? What's he done for your business?
So Dineth runs all of our inbound accounts and provides a real backup service to Kelly O'Neill, who's our head of our accounts division. But Dineth's just reliable. He is incredibly skilled, tertiary educated, and provides a real support mechanism to Kelly and the entire finance team. I think from a sheer processing point of view, we were always concerned about data integrity, offshoring something like your finances and your Xero account and stuff like that. But from the moment, Dineth and he is an incredibly honest, hardworking person, and I think that's what we like the most about him. He processes an extraordinary amount of work at very high proficiencies, and he's always there whenever you need him. So I think from that side, he's processing. I'm not even going to begin to guess, but there would be tens of thousands of emails that he would receive every month that get processed through our accounts division by Dineth.
Yeah, for everyone who's listening, he's a fully qualified accountant. He's got a master's of accounting degree. He's a Xero diamond trainer or platinum trainer, whatever they can say. So highly qualified individual.
Yeah.
Leads me into your next VA and leads me into your next actual on-site person, Tanya. I obviously worked at HPC for a number of years and saw one person process every single contract. And that was fine when I was there, when you're doing 50 contracts a month. Now doing 150 contracts a month, I was in your office 12 months ago and still seeing Tanya pulling her hair out, being the most stressed individual you had within your business. And
That wasn't because of the contract.
probably no, it could be anything. But I made a recommendation there to hire a fully qualified solicitor, also out of Sri Lanka. And Diyumi stepped in, and she's been with you now for 9 months.
Yep. And we're counting down the days until she's back.
She's on maternity leave. She's unfortunately, she's got 2 months off. But that's made a massive difference to Tanya. Like Tanya actually had a honeymoon not long ago.
Yep. So Tanya's been able to get away, pull herself away from the sheer volume of unconditional letters and finance letters and extension letters and just the sheer volume of contracts that come in and communicating with all the various solicitors across. I think that's the other thing, because of the geographical spread of our business, she's dealing with solicitors from Cairns down to the Gold Coast and everywhere in between. And so there's just a lot of volume coming in. But Doomi's been able to provide, I suppose, a real support element for Tanya as well, where we can extend Tanya's workload by giving her a support from someone who is so capably qualified to help us process all these contracts.
Yeah, and before I go on to the next question, which is around cost savings, I think it's also pertinent to note that, VAs aren't here to necessarily save you money in your business. They are to increase happiness of your outstanding employees, increase productivity without increasing spend. But there is a misconception out there that, if a business is adopting VAs, are they adopting them to get rid of me, potentially?
No, I don't think that's necessarily. It's never been in our forefront because, to take a step back, to Harcourts Property Centre and Sam Devlin, Aaron Brooks.
Not married yet?
No, not married. Won't be. Probably even 4 years ago. And we used to get calls from VA companies all the time, some of your competitors. And I remember for a long time, I always said to somebody, no, we're like slightly patriotic. We want jobs for Australians and jobs onshore. We want to be able to look, feel, touch them. And that was our reasoning. And so initially, I think it probably got to a point where we realised, okay, well, we can't continue to grow it the way we're growing and adding commercial space and adding Australian wages each and every time. So I think initially it was definitely an attraction to cost saving. But now, as you point out, it's us being able to extend somebody's job and their workload into a VA, but also being able to provide them the ability to go on a honeymoon or go away and know that their job's they're not going to turn back up to 150 unprocessed contracts. And well, obviously we can't have that happen. But they are so they're providing such a support mechanism to our entire business, whether it's Diyumi in accounts, whether it's Steneth in finance, whether it's our very own Adam Brox over in Egypt, who provides such a support to Chris and the lead generation team. It's being able to extend a lot of our the capacity of a lot of our onshore people.
Yeah. I mean, we spoke about this last week at your launch event, 1,600 leads the VAs delivered to your team.
Yep.
And that's not the salespeople directs team. A couple of weeks ago, we had Anna in here. Her team, that doesn't go into her figures. Her figures are her figures. But just your data team delivered 1,600 leads.
Yep.
It's a wonderful thing to be able, I assume, when you're recruiting, which is a massive part of your job, recruiting agents, you come work at HPC because this is what we can deliver for you.
We have all these leads. Yeah, and I think that one of our big plans for 2025 is to get even more leads, better quality leads. And, we started off this year where we were going to get a VA to help support me, Aaron, Jen and Nathan in our role. And in the end, we sort of went, you know what, Adam, we just want data. We just want more data. We want to be able to communicate with it better. And as we went through a business planning process and we looked at the numbers, we want better quality data. We want better quality leads. And so it just made sense that we continue to invest in that side of our business because lead generation I think if I went into 10 out of 10 recruitment meetings and I asked what are the most important factors to you when you're making a move, and it's not always money, but I would say in 90% of the case, they'd say, I'd just like a lead every now and then from the office. And so we're trying actively to do that, deliver that. Some of our guys have recognised the importance of those leads, and they're obviously, whether it's Anna or Scotty Kelleher or Oena, they're all investing into their own VAs to generate quality leads out there in the marketplace.
Do you ever say to people, coffee's for closers and you can't have the leads and it takes brass balls to sell real estate?
No, but I often say second prize is steak knives.
That's my favourite line.
No, I never talk about the brass balls, and
it's one of my favourite movies.
You can't have the Glen Ellen leads.
Glengarry leads.
Glengarry leads.
You can't have the Glengarry leads.
That's
one of my favourites.
Closers. It's a great movie.
Everyone should watch that
Glen
after
Ross.
they finish this podcast. Go and watch that. Just that scene, Alec Baldwin.
It's one of the greats.
One piece of advice you would give to a salesperson out there writing 250, 300 that is thinking about a VA or a PA, what do you say to them?
Why are you getting? So I think you first have to understand what is it that you're wanting. Are you wanting support so that you have someone to run around and do photography, to attend photo shoots? Oh, sorry, that is photography, obviously, but
do it twice.
They can do it twice. Building and pests. Are you looking for that legwork, or are you wanting to build a process-driven, sustainable real estate business? Because they're two different things.
Yeah.
And I think for the $250,000 rider, it becomes a cost question as well. And, it comes back to that. Where do you start? I think a VA is a logical place to start, because at $250,000, the leakage in your business would be significant. And the only thing you really have to focus on is the data you already have. And, sitting at our conference with Lee Woodward last week, love the one you're with, you've already got all the data sitting there. It's got to be cleaned. It's got to be nurtured. And that can be done very easily by a VA.
I love it. Thanks, Sam. Here's to another 14 years in a great relationship together.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait. Do I get to ask you questions?
Sure. I've never had that happen to me yet.
Oh, well, there's...
What would you like to ask me?
So would you rather get attacked by a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
We have had this question on this show.
No way.
I can't believe you have watched it and not picked up on this. I'm petrified of birds, so I would have 1 million duck-sized horses.
You'd have 100 duck-sized horses?
Yeah, because I don't like birds.
Right.
And I don't want to ever see a horse-sized duck, ever.
Yeah, it'd be quite scary.
Yep.
I agree. Right, so that's the first question. Second question. Do you think if you applied yourself to real estate now the same way you apply yourself to your current business, do you think you would be more successful?
That's unfortunate. That's all the time we have today. So thank you, Sam, for joining us today. I appreciate you in all your aspects, and thank you for joining us today.
No dramas, Adam. It's a pleasure. Mate.